Hey, welcome to the podcast. Men Talk to the podcast. I'm your host, Lee. I'm not going to point because okay, there you go. Miss TT, Tulane, and Alasia sitting over there on my side since the screen is that way. And Rick down low doing this thing. Holding it again, once again, audio and video, trying to make this thing come out right. So, got a pretty good topic today. But before we go there, I got nothing as far as what's in the news. But I'm reading this stupid shit that's in the news. So Kim Kardashian put out a little statement saying that she liked riding in on the subway with her boyfriend / bae, goddamn, to the city. Why is that in the news? Who gives a shit what you ride, what you drive, what you don't drive? Why is this shit in the news? Why is it so?
What I was gonna say on that one.
Say what you got to say, man, because this is bullshit.
You know what she be riding.
That's what I was thinking, but I
was Nobody cares, Kim Kardashian, that you ride the subway, the New York subway at that. You should be ashamed, if anything, of riding a New York subway. Some of them are clean, some of them are filthy. And I know this firsthand because I've been up there a couple of times. But nobody cares.
Some people like to do little random shit like that to make them feel like they grounded and still like that. Yeah, even though she been rich her whole life because, you know, her pops was a lawyer and shit. But
I just don't understand why it would just be printed news. Who gives a shit what she does?
It's a lot of them out there
riding into the fucking city like every other normal person do. Who cares?
It's a lot of them out there.
Yeah,
they do.
That's all I got for why that's in the news, because I think it's stupid.
She on there saying that stuff she was saying in that video. Oh, baby. Oh, mama. She be okay.
On that note,
you done took us back to the video. Oh my God.
Y'all know, I heard that there's a possibility of some more of they tapes being put out, and she's trying to block that.
So she swear ain't no such thing.
Yeah.
I mean, don't nobody want to see that shit no more.
Right. Like Ray just said, he got kids now. He don't need that shit coming up out and showing all that shit going on.
And they wasn't even doing nothing. I mean, so it wasn't even exciting.
Good point.
Would say it ain't like she was hanging from the shower rod. And
exactly. Stuff like that. She wasn't throwing that thing back or nothing.
Oh my God.
Hey, she didn't have that. She didn't have that thing to throw back then.
No, she didn't.
Good point.
Yeah, she still wasn't doing
that. Anyway, let's keep it moving. So today's topic of conversation between us men and women here on this show is double standards. And Rick is the dude who brought this subject up. So we're going to let him pound it out, see what's going on with it, what he thinks double standards are. Let me ask, is this clarify? What is this double standard thing? Is it in relationships? Is it just everyday stuff? How you want to go with that?
So the thing that really sparked my interest and got me thinking was just like, damn, that is true. So a man take care of his kids, doing what he's supposed to do as far as his responsibilities, stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. And it's one of them, shit, that's what you're supposed to do. You're a man. Let a woman take care of her kids, work, take care of her house. Same thing a man do, then she a strong, independent woman. You know, not she's doing what she's supposed to do.
As
like what they say about us men, you know, as a parent, that's what we supposed to do.
Right.
But let a woman do the same exact thing. That she's strong, she did, she that, and it's just like, as parents, as people, as adults, that's what the hell we supposed to do.
True.
Yeah, but you gotta look at it like this too. Women are supposed to be beneath the man. So if it's not a man there, of course she's gonna be strong because she's holding up both hands of the deal. The man's side and her side.
So, but in the old days, I'd agree with you saying with the saying as far as the women supposed to be beneath the man. But in today's time, that's not true because statistically, women have women have more degrees than men do at this
Yeah,
point in time.
it's not true, but I'm just saying, that's how they look at it. That's why they say, she's a strong, independent woman. Even though, we're not back in the day and we are moving, getting more education and doing this and doing that. But, it's 10 times harder
Mm-hmm.
on a woman than it would be on a man, because you out there working, but still at the end of the day, she might be working. She dealing with the children. She dealing with children issues. She dealing with her issues. She dealing with her man issues. She just dealing with any and everything that's being thrown at her.
On the rebuttal for that, nowadays it's more men that have their kids than what it used to be as well. So sometimes we deal with them same things. Like I've had my kids for the past 6 or 7 years now. So I'm dealing with kid issues, basically all that other stuff, working, still dealing with the baby mama issues, because they would go to her about stuff. So, trying to have her in business in a household that's not even hers. Still paying child support for kids that are living with me. And I'm not the only man, since, we talked about that on the last podcast. I'm not the only man that's done that. I've had a few people reach out to me and was like, man, I went through the same thing, and it was cheaper for me just to keep paying than it was to try to fight it. So, that's one more thing that we got to deal with.
So how does the double standard rule apply? That's what I'm trying to get to.
Because when we do it, I don't know, I guess when we do things that adults are supposed to do, take care of our households, things like that, when a man does it, that's just what you're supposed to do. But when a woman does it, then why is it considered so much greater?
I see both. I see the argument for both. Like when they bring this up on Facebook and I see people talking about it, I see them saying that that's what a woman is supposed to do too. Like, y'all want to pat on the back for taking care of y'all kids. That's what y'all supposed to do.
Right. I mean, as a parent, you would think that would be the case. It shouldn't be no double standard. You a fucking parent. Don't matter what household you in.
And see, that's my main point as well. Like, it don't matter what you are, man, woman. You supposed to take care of your kids. You supposed to take care of your household. So it's like. And I don't like saying this because I don't want nobody to think, because I was raised by a single parent. My mom worked 2 and 3 jobs. It was one point in time that, I was told that my mom had came in the house one time and I asked who was she. That, she was doing, like, she was always at work. Like, she was probably sleeping 2 or 3 hours out of the day when I was little. And so, I don't want anybody to think that I'm talking down on women and all that. I'm not. I just don't understand why is it more of a praise for a woman doing that than what us men get as well, when really there really shouldn't be a praise for it at all, because we just doing what we supposed to do. Our kids didn't ask to be brought into this world. So why is it I even hear, on the other side of the spectrum where some women be like, oh, you take care of your kids and you do this, that's what's up. Like, why should I get a bonus point for taking care of my kids?
Right.
As a human, that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, the majority of them don't. So when you do see a man that's taking care of their kids, you give them praise. And that's what that is. They're giving you a pat on the back for stepping in where you're supposed to be stepping in at. Not stepping to the side, not stepping over here doing this, doing that, but you at home with your kids. So I think everybody that's in their kids' life need a pat on the back, because it's hard out here.
True.
Trying to raise these kids. Whether you a man trying to raise some sons or some daughters, or a mother trying to raise some daughters and some sons, it's hard, especially by yourself.
Right.
And that's what I was about to say. When you by yourself and then you still got to deal with interference, trying to play, y'all know how kids are. They try to play both sides, put one person in it, and that makes it even harder sometimes.
Yeah, they make it harder. But then at the end of the day, once they get older, they need to realize and come to a conclusion on who they looking at and who doing what and who done did what, because it's always gonna pan out at the end. My mama, my daddy did this. Oh, my mama ain't did nothing, but my daddy did this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so after that, you done did what you supposed to do.
So maybe let me throw this in there too. So maybe if the family dynamic, especially in the African American community, was not so destroyed as far as men not being in the household, this double standard rule probably wouldn't apply.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my thinking on it. You're supposed to have a male, you're supposed to have a female, you're supposed to cohabitate, live together, however you want to call it. If you have kids, you raise your kids, the male and the female. It's supposed to be 2 points of interest gaining in on one kid or 3 kids or whatever. You sharing all that information and knowledge that you got, you pour that into your future, which is your next generation, which is your kids. And it's supposed to go on from there and there. It's not happening. It's sad that it's not happening. And it's sad that we as a people are not making strides to go back to that type of lifestyle, because it's needed in this day and age, because we got men and women who have issues with authority because they never had it in their household. They never respected it. They don't know about respect because they only seen one version of it. They respect the mom, but they don't respect the dad because the dad ain't there, or vice versa. All this stuff is going on, which is making this generation that we keep going on and on and on with, without men or women in the household at the same time with these kids, is killing us as a whole. You don't know how to. Let me go back, Rick. When we went down to downtown, and we was down at the smoke shop, at the barbecue shop, Chris barbecue shop,
Mm-hmm.
and the 2 dudes came up, and then one carrying a pistol, pants hanging all off his ass, talking all this shit, and I'm trying to figure out. First off, you interrupted the whole conversation we was going in. That's fucking no respect at all. Grown people talking, you come up and just start talking shit. No respect at all. He wasn't taught that. That's just the way it is for him. Second of all, he don't know how to interact with people. That was my next thing I was going to actually talk to you about. He don't know how to interact with people.
Nah.
He come up and say, this is what's up. This is what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. Anybody want to sell this? I'm going to buy this and this, that. Bruh, I don't even know that dude's name.
Yeah, me.
He didn't even introduce himself. You know what I'm saying? That's how proper people that's been taught properly come up and get into a conversation. Unless you're friends. I get you if you're friends. But if we ain't fucking friends, hey, my name is, this you jump into the conversation.
Hey, I don't knock him for carrying a pistol though, because it is legal, and I carry one myself.
I'm not knocking him for that. I'm saying the demeanor and
you could tell
he came up to.
Yeah, he
had no respect. Exactly, no respect, no regard for nothing. He just there, just get in when he get in, say what he got to say, and pop out, and he done. That somehow, some way, I'm sure I can put money on this. He is somewhere in his life missing a male or a female in his life that showed him or could have taught him, hey, you don't do that. You don't go up into a conversation and just jump in and just interact and not introduce yourself and not say anything. You don't do shit like that. I mean, it bothers me that we don't have that type of structure. We do have it, but it's not prevalent in our community. You know what I'm saying? We got a single mom over here killing herself trying to get 2, 3, 4 kids through school and all this sort of stuff, or a single dad like Rick that's got 2, 3, 4 kids or whatever, and they trying to make the best they can with what they got and what they see. That's my problem with us as a whole. We don't have that family dynamic intact to teach our kids, or we have to rely on somebody outside the household who has no vested interest in your household to teach them what they should and shouldn't do.
And nowadays, people are happy to be baby mamas and baby daddies instead of husbands.
They content with that shit, right?
Like I don't know. It's like I tell everybody, man. I could back then. I could have saw myself marrying my daughter's mom. Like I wanted to marry her. She didn't want to get married. So do I wish the kids wouldn't have came until after all, like marriage or whatever? Of course, but young shit happens, dumb. Learned my lesson, which is why I ain't had no more. And my youngest is 19. Yeah, 19. But yeah, so we got to get back, like you said, that family dynamic. And then a lot of what I'm realizing nowadays is, so kids my age grew up. A lot of us did grow up without our dads in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the people that I know now that are my age with kids, they know what that felt like. So there are a lot more dads involved in their kids' lives. But the problem is like you said, they're not in a household. So as us men, we try to teach discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're trying to teach discipline, but we're having to fight the mother in order to teach the discipline because are you being too hard, or, so now you're in two separate households and you're disagreeing with the way the kids should be raised.
And that's that bullshit.
Yeah.
And I know I went through a bunch of that, and that's why my girls, they're 21 and 19. I have an issue with that now, is because I've always been disciplined. Like, my biggest thing is respect.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, like, for the most part, man, I had girls, so I didn't whoop them how I got whooped. I think last time they even got popped, they were like 8 and 9. So, but the main thing I always told them is my 2 major rules, and that still apply to this day, is don't lie to me and don't disrespect me.
Yep.
And that's what I've been teaching. Cause, I help take care of their little brothers. That's what I be teaching them, especially as young men. Don't lie and don't disrespect me.
Or your mama.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think ultimately, when it comes to, discipline, I think the male plays a big role in the discipline process.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times, some of my kids, you tell them no. I done told them no. And then they hear that voice from the back. And they say, what your mama say?
Right.
And it was the end of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, that sets a higher standard when it comes to discipline. Because that daddy back there in that background, hey, it's no.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got a lot of these boys that's growing up disrespectful. They need a male in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, my uncles better not say nothing back to my grandmama at all. Because my granddaddy was going to be like, I know you heard my wife open her mouth.
Right.
And that's the end of it. And then
Right.
you heard, yes, sir. Because they knew at the end of the day, when my daddy spoke, it was a done deal and it was over with.
Which it should be still today, but you don't have that in the household.
You don't have that in the household. Or you got a lot of these men, when the mama say, stop doing that, the daddy looking at them say, man, fuck that bitch. You can do whatever the hell. I'm right here. I'm overseeing. I mean, like, what kind of shit is that?
Right. Stupidity.
And see, I run into the opposite with my girls living with me. And I give you a little scenario. I don't know if y'all saw I posted on Facebook. So my 21-year-old daughter, she her little friend came in from out of town, had asked me could he sleep here or stay here a couple nights. Nah, we not doing that. So she asked me this probably about a week or two ago, I think it was. And then I picked her up from work Tuesday or Wednesday, and she wanted to stop by Walmart. Said she had to pick up some personals. Like I said, number one thing, don't lie. Number one rule, don't lie to me. And y'all got kids, so y'all know just as well as I do. You know when your kids is lying or whatever. So I'm like, what we going to Walmart for? She's like, I gotta get some personals. So why we not going to the dollar store for your personals? They're a little bit cheaper there. We always go to the dollar store for your personals. Oh, it's just something. It's something in Walmart I need. All right.
That ain't personal.
Yeah. She come out with this big ass tent. And I'm like, why you buy a tent? She was like, cause me and my sister, my brothers, we want to put up a tent, sleep in the yard or whatever. I'm like, man, y'all grown and y'all ain't never did that. Why now? It ain't sitting right with me. Why now? So then I'm sitting now. We talking about it or whatever, and you know, I asked her again about tent. She say the same thing. I was like, all right, I'm gonna let it go, you know, because I knew she was too anxious to get it because I was running behind on some shit. And I'm like, can I bring you to get it tomorrow? She like, no, we want to sleep in tonight. I'm like, okay.
Damn.
Get it. Get it. So I get it. It is come home, they put it up. Needless to say, they don't sleep in it. Next thing I know, I find out the next day her friend on his way in town. So I'm texting her mama. Same time I text her like, hey, come down here and holler at me. She come down here. I'm like, hey, one more time. Why you get that tent? And she, same little spiel. And I text her mama. I'm just like, hey, you know I know why she got that tent, right? And she was like, you already know. And I was like, that shit ain't finna fly neither. This nigga is not sleeping in the tent on my damn property.
Who even thinks of that? That is crazy.
So, you know, now, of course, her mama knew about the whole thing. Now, I don't know if she knew that she lied to me about it, but, you know, I basically got called controlling and ignorant because I wouldn't let this boy sleep in his tent in my yard or even sleep in my house.
Why would he even want to sleep in the tent in your yard? Is the problem.
So, and my thing was this. I was just like, man, when I was out there 19, 20, 21, and I'm moving around from little small city to small city doing my thing, shit, I made sure I had money for a hotel room. You know, I ain't asking to stay at your house because for one,
it's about to go down.
Yeah, like it is like who just lets their kids have people. And my thing is, if I let you sleep over once, then you gonna try to come down again. Then my other daughter gonna be trying to have her dude over here. No, man, I ain't running no damn homeless shelter or no halfway house. So
she's trying to pull a Jason's lyric.
So I got called ignorant and controlling. And I'm like, it's not controlling, it's called having boundaries and rules. So
Jesus.
So, you know, and that goes back to that, you know, differences of opinions on raising your kids. Because my response now is, because for one, they grown. It's like I say, I'm not forcing nobody to be in my house at this point. And then anytime they mama try to argue about me being controlling, as she says, because I have rules to my house, because I don't care how old you are, you ain't paying no bills here. It's me being controlling. And it's like, bro, you really need to look up the definition of controlling, because like your daddy was around, but he wasn't there for discipline. He came to see your mama. So you don't understand what a dad is supposed to be. Needless to say, I didn't have my daddy in my life either. So, you know, by standards and examples, I don't know either, but I know we're disciplined as well as your upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, but hopefully when my kids are 26, 27, 28, they understand that. And then we can then I can go from that disciplinarian role to more of an advisory and more of a, I don't want to say friend, because I don't think I'll ever be their friend. But I don't know. I just don't understand how a lot of, and you see it now, but with parents that became parents real young, they try to be they kids' friends.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell no. I don't try to be nobody's friend.
You is my
You're my best friend, mama.
Long time.
she is.
She just want me to be her friend.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Just be my friend.
But, you know, having that good relationship, like I said, I want to be able to have that relationship with my kids like that, to where it's viewed like that, but I could never, I don't know, even when I'm done being a disciplinarian, I still advisory. Yeah, we go, you know, still want to be able to go take you out to eat no matter how old you are and hang out with you and all that other stuff. But just right now, I feel like they still need that discipline because, you know, I'm fighting. I'm behind the 8 ball with them because they were teenagers when I got them.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, don't get me wrong, I was at weekend dad, and whenever they was on, you know, spring breaks and winter vacations, they was always with me. But when you have that one parent that's more your friend and you connect to them more and all that, of course, that's going to be who you close to because they pretty much let you get away with everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't understand, like, because I feel like the kids should not know that the parents is at a disagreement.
Whew.
True.
They should not
agree.
see that. That's where the problem come in, and that's where, you know, that sneak behind the back come in, because why do they see that anyways? If y'all having a disagreement, they need to be between y'all. The kids don't even know nothing about it.
The whole different rules in the households, that should be a common thing as well.
Yep.
If she ain't gonna let nobody sleep in her house at the mama's house, you damn sure enough ain't finna have nobody sleeping at my house.
Right.
All this stuff should be going back and forth as far as, even though if y'all don't fucking like each other, parents, even though y'all don't fucking like each other or can't talk to each other, y'all should have some kind of common ground when it comes to the kid as far as rules in each other's house.
Yeah.
And if you find out something that's going on, like let me throw my scenario in there. So my daughter, my youngest daughter, was on some kind of app on her phone. Her mama told her, hey, you can't have that app because, you know, it ain't all it's cracked up to be, blah, 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 so forth and so on. Come to my house, she get on my iPad that I was going to give her. She get on the app, start talking to these little girls or whatever at the school, and they chopping it up about everything. I said, hey, look, just go ahead and take that iPad with you. You can keep it. Matter of fact, you can have the iPad. I don't even use it. Keep it. So first off, the mama at the other house didn't tell me that she couldn't have no devices, tech stuff, any of that stuff. That's one. Second, she didn't tell me that this app that she was on all the time, she didn't have no reason to be on it. She was told not to be on it, so forth and so on. I didn't know this. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and do what you got to do. That's fine if it's whatever. So I get a call late. It was a Sunday night call after I brought her back from visiting with me, and she just started going in. I don't know. I don't understand why you gave her this toy, this iPad. I don't understand why she had this app downloaded on the iPad. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I have no clue what you're talking about. I said, if you would have told me, then that shit would have been squashed right off the rip. Of course, the kid ain't gonna say nothing because you're getting the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting the app, you're getting the iPads, you're getting the phone, you're getting, you know, whatever. You're getting to do whatever you want to at the other person's house. So as soon as I addressed that with her, hey, look, all you had to do was fucking send me a text. You don't fucking got to call me. Just send me a text and say, hey, look, this is what's going on with my child. I need you to be on the same page with me about this whole deal that's going on. You ain't got to call me. If you don't want to call me, don't call me. Just let me know what's going on in your household as far as my child is concerned. So I won't be fucking breaking no rules or giving her mixed signals about, oh, he can do it over there, but you can't do it over here. Going that back and forth all the time. You get free reign over here, but you don't have it over here. The same thing should apply in both houses, so you have some kind of stability and consistency when it comes to raising the kid.
I will say this: when my kids was on punishment at their mama's house, when they came to me on the weekends, they were still on that same punishment.
Exactly.
The problem would be when me and her would get into it. She would always try to argue in front of the kids. So you know, I'm one of them people. I ain't gonna say nothing because I always feel like it ain't the kids' business what we going through.
Right.
So I just sit there and she'd be like, "You don't never say nothing and block."
There ain't nothing to say.
I'd be like, when the kids ain't around, we can finish this.
Yep.
And then now that they grown though, she still like sometimes she still be trying to trip on little random stuff, you know, because she don't like the way I'm say taking care of the kids, or she don't like the rules to my house. And my response at this point is, I ain't forcing nobody to be here. They can come live with you.
That's what I'm about to say right there.
Yeah.
If she that concerned, then she need to come get their ass.
So, but the thing about it now, that's the response. And now that the kids are grown, I don't care. I say what I got to say in front of them now, because it's like, now y'all old enough. Y'all know what it's been all these years. I ain't biting my tongue no more.
I don't say nothing. I'm gonna get you in private. I'm gonna get you in private. I don't give a damn how old the child is. I'm gonna get your ass in private, plain and simple. That's some shit they really don't need to see.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's just me.
But see,
I'm not gonna let my any of my baby mamas clown me in front of the child, and I'm not gonna retaliate in front of the child. I'm gonna get her ass though.
But see,
You better believe that.
I've been the enemy so long, so to speak. I've been the bad guy so long that now it's just like I'm not biting my tongue no more because the kids, since they've been with me, they really see what it is and what it's been.
Which is what they should see, because people that put up all this noise and talking about what they will and won't do for their kids, when they don't come through with it, now the kids know who's who and what's what and how things are running out. They see that for themselves. I'm not gonna argue with my baby mama about nothing. The baby mama gonna go off in front of the kid. I bet you that, about how he don't do this and he should have did this and blah blah blah. Then the kid actually sees, hey, look, my mama might be damn crazy, or my mama got something going on, and the dad don't be saying nothing, or vice versa. I mean, they see it. They know who to gravitate to eventually. I'll tell them all the time. Time will tell on anybody.
Yeah.
Give a damn who it is.
And my house was different because he didn't give a damn.
Right.
And if I said I don't want to talk about it right now, then he'll just keep on pushing the issue.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I snap, oh, she crazy.
Oh, it's too late then. Yeah.
Yeah. And I ain't crazy. I asked you and told you, I don't want to talk about it and leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
Until, we get to somewhere where we can discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of letting them hear in it and everything. Because my kids heard everything.
And didn't want to, honey. Leave my mama alone.
Right.
I mean, we just couldn't. Let's go downstairs and talk about it.
Right.
Knowing they listening. No, we finna talk about it right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn, who listening? So, as they got older, they was like, oh, this motherfucker crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you setting that precedence with your kids that it's okay to argue, fight, whatever, with no regard about what's going on around you.
Right.
You set that precedence when you do all that stuff in front of your kids. That's one thing I try my best not to do.
Yeah. And then again,
we're gonna talk later. We're gonna talk about this later. We're gonna be pissed off at each other right now while we in the moment. We can be fucking driving in the car, not saying shit to nobody.
Nothing.
But when we get to where we got to go, when the kid is gone, oh, it's going down.
Like dude and your ex.
Yeah. It's fucking going down.
Because your ass
you bring that shit up, man. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you don't shine. You're not trying to make a how can I put it? You're not trying to actually you are. You're trying to be the bigger person in this situation, or you trying to be the one that just I'm all this and I'm trying to go off on them. Take all that. Them kids don't need to see that. They got enough shit going on as it is. They got to fucking grow up.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad in itself. You going through hormonal changes, you go growth spurts and all this shit going on with the kids.
Yeah.
To add some fucking two people that you're supposed to respect and love and cherish and all that stuff, and see they asses arguing all goddamn day long. Come on now.
Yeah.
You killing it. You killing they vibe, they whole thing when they start growing up. Then it translates over into some other stuff that's got the kids fucked up as well, because they take all that shit with them. The parents arguing, it's okay to argue. I'm finna go argue with my girlfriend / husband / whatever. All that shit translates over. You keep seeing it over and over again, continuous cycle, and it never ever changes until somebody say, you know what, this shit ain't working.
Yeah. It ain't right.
It ain't right. It ain't working. I shouldn't be arguing in front of my kids. I shouldn't see conflict in my household. If I do, it should be a fucking mistake. And we have those all the time. But it shouldn't be just a constant thing. I'm finna tear his ass down because he ain't about shit and he ain't doing shit for me, or she ain't this and she ain't that. Kids should never see that two people berating each other when they're supposed to love both of them.
Yep.
And it happens. I mean, it's constant. Like everybody that went through this whole thing, like we just got through talking about. Everybody got a scenario, but it's bad. And they have to go through all that stuff and carry that stuff with you until you actually make a change in your own life about what you ain't gonna do, like most kids do. I'm not gonna be like my mama. I'm not gonna be like my daddy. I'm not gonna argue with my mom and my daddy when this, that, and the other. That shit, that's the only time it's gonna change.
Yeah.
And there you have it. I hate to say it, but that's the way it is.
Yeah.
People got to stop fucking fighting in front of their kids.
Yeah. And when they do, you have to be the bigger person and say, hey, look, I know y'all seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all done heard a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's go get some help, because I think y'all, and a lot of times they do, they revert back to that anger.
Yep.
So they grow up angry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, let's go get some help and try to change all this, because at the end of the day, that shit wasn't healthy.
No.
Yeah.
Should never be. That'd never be healthy to nobody.
To nobody.
Even people that's arguing.
Right. You sure wouldn't.
You going off about the chicken ain't moist or so whatever. I mean, it's just stupid.
Shit, in my house, it was cinnamon in the damn chili.
This is cinnamon into everything.
Cinnamon into everything.
What?
You have a meal without no fucking cinnamon?
What?
Who the
Yeah.
fuck put cinnamon in chili?
Cinnamon chili. Cinnamon.
Cinnamon toast crunch. Cinnamon.
Yes.
Cinnamon pork chops.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
What the hell is going on with the cinnamon?
I don't know. Come home from work hungry than a motherfucker. Done made some chili. Oh, I'm finna fuck this up.
God.
Put your bowl in there. You get your crackers. You take one bite.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Hell no. You should know he wasn't right in the head whenever the first
Right.
time he put cinnamon in
Damn
fucking
cinnamon.
chili.
And what's so crazy is the chili used to be good at first, and then the cinnamon just
Shit, we done had cinnamon roast.
cinnamon. Just cinnamon.
We done had cinnamon everything.
Oh
Shit
my
would've been
God.
good if it
It
had
didn't have
no
the cinnamon.
You know what?
Oh my
Fix a
God.
ham sandwich and hope he put no cinnamon in the pack. A ham.
What? Come on.
Cinnamon.
Hell no.
Yeah, you know something's wrong with him. I hate to say that, but yeah, something's wrong here.
He was trying.
He was trying, but cinnamon on everything? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, stop playing.
These kids, Lord have mercy, these kids.
I'm sure they done seen it all.
Yeah, they done seen it all.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
hear them in the kitchen.
don't let that affect y'all. That's what I want to say.
I don't know. You can hear him in the kitchen going, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh my God.
Not supposed to be here.
I ain't that shit. I used to be like, y'all ass gonna be home because I ain't fixing nothing else.
Nothing else. Yeah, we cook 2 meals in the same night. Come on now. We ain't doing
Daddy
that.
done cooked, you better eat it.
Oh my God. That's crazy. Oh shit. So Rick, here's what I thought you was gonna talk about, this double standard thing, as far as men versus women. That's what I thought you was gonna talk about. The double standard. You know the normal double standard.
Double standard.
You know, the man making more money, the woman ain't. Double standard, you're doing the same job. She slept with too many guys. He slept with a bunch of girls.
Mm-hmm.
It don't count. It don't add up. That's what I was thinking he was going with. But
See,
that's a good topic to go with anyway.
I started to go there, but for me personally, I ain't like everybody else because I don't body counts and all that. How can we call one thing and we praise the other one for being able to have all them. Like, to me, that's retarded. A hoe is a hoe, male or female.
True.
It sure is.
But in this male dominated world, even though women do run it to some degree, that standard is still out there.
Yeah, it's still out there.
That standard is still out there. The whole equal pay thing, which is a double standard, is still out there.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up because I do believe that, you know, there shouldn't be a pay disparity, and that's one thing I was gonna double back to, and we got a little bit off topic with the kids and stuff. Is, you know, once again, I'm not trying to talk bad about our women or anything like that, because, you know, that's not what I meant, you know, in the very beginning and what I first posed, because I do know our women work just as hard as we do. And I know it is hard out there for them because of, you know, the pay not being equal, or it's harder for them to do certain, you know, to get certain jobs, even though they might be more qualified for it just because they are women. Because I know it's hard on us out here being black men getting certain things. So I know it's even harder at times for black women.
Yes, it is.
Well, women in general. I'm just gonna say women in general because they take a backseat to damn near everything. Just to be honest, that's just me. That's the way I see it. I could be wrong. I mean, but it's few and far between as far as women actually reaching that pinnacle. You got a few women CEOs that run Fortune 500 companies, but it's rare. It's always rare. Like you were saying earlier, the whole, you got 2 strikes against you already. You black, you're female. That's 2 strikes already off the bat. You ain't even got up to the plate yet to see what you got to go for. You already got 2 strikes against you. I'm gonna even take it another step further. If you are gay in that community, that's another strike. It's hard. We the people that make the rules, affluent white American males, that's holding the purse strings, that's making the laws, that's interpreting the laws, that's enforcing the laws. All this stuff impacts all of us as a whole. It actually sets the precedence for how you're gonna be looked at in life. It always has, always will be, until, like you were saying earlier when we talked about the influence. I mean, the getting into these offices as far as city councilmen and that type of deal. Once you get in and get acclimated to what's going on and you know how to maneuver and get around stuff and whatever, then you can open up a door. But as of right now, and I hate to say it, but it's true, we just assed out.
That's just like the Crown. Is it called the Crown Act that you talked about before? You know, that was really for black women, and us men actually benefit from it because of, you know, men are wearing locks now, and you know, I had this thing back in the day when I was younger at this job I was working, because, you know, I had my long braids and all that, and I always used to tell them, y'all know when I'm getting ready to quit because I'm gonna cut my hair. Because I knew, you know, I didn't want to do food anymore at that point if I wanted to get out of there. And I knew, 1, I was young. 2,
strike 1.
Yeah. 2, I was black.
Strike 2.
3, I had cornrows. So
strike 3.
Instantly I'm a thug. Even though I was far from it back then, you know. So that was my thing. If I come in here with my haircut, you know I'm looking for another job. And it was funny. I came in with my haircut one day. My boss put me to the side like, man, you trying to go somewhere? No, I'm not. 2 weeks later, I had a job working at a bank.
That's the way it is.
Yeah.
Like I said, once we get these people that's actually got some sense and knowledge and can get in these places that we can't, as a regular or the average median person can get into or can't get into, that's when stuff started to change. That's when rules started to change. The first African-American black president should have set the bar as far as what we can and can't do. The judge has just got appointed. Should set the precedence of what we can and can't do. We got to go through some hoops to get there because we got all these senators, white. I'm not pointing fingers, but it is the truth. You look at the confirmation hearings, you see all these guys Old guard. We ain't talking about these new senators that's coming in now. The old guard, Lindsey Graham.
You would think they would
All
have
this
an age requirement on that shit though.
Nope,
Because
there's
at some
no-
point, it's like Montreal said. It's like Montreal Beasley said on last one. At some point, you become out of touch.
True. But whenever they decide to put term limits on senators, which they don't have now, and the House of Representatives, which they don't have now, that's when all that stuff can change over. You can be a career politician like these folks you see in office now that's on TV, berating folks and talking crazy to folks and throwing them trick questions and trying to figure out what they'd say if they did this and then turn around and reword it and make them say it like they said something different. All that stuff is going to keep on going until these folks get out of office, period. Or we have enough people to actually put somebody else different that looks and act and think like us in office.
Right.
That's the only way it's going to happen.
But that's why they hate that. Dang, what is her name? The Latina. Was she a senator or House of Representatives? I'm gonna have to look.
I don't know. You got to look it up because I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it's like AOC. What's up?
Oh, AOC from New York?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's well outspoken, but she's down to earth. She used to be a bartender and got elected and been in there since. But she's doing common sense stuff that we, the people, would, I guess, recognize and agree with, which is a good thing. She's trying to help her district. I have no problem with it. But you're going to rarely see that down south.
Yeah, you ain't gonna see. You know, that's the thing about it. We are always the last one to adopt change.
Yeah. Unless it's something fucking crazy. Out of left field somewhere. They be all over it then.
Yep.
Be like, look, hey, throw up a vote to bring slavery or something back, boy. I bet you they be all over that shit.
Hell, you already know.
Ain't nobody going for that.
Yeah, ain't nobody going for that.
They have people from other states coming in trying to fix that.
Right.
Look, hell, they still be crying over the damn Confederate flag.
Yeah, still out to this day.
Yeah.
Mad because it's been taken down. Like, bruh.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if like I said earlier, if it's rooted in you, then it's in you.
Yeah.
You got to actually make the change yourself, or see that it's affecting somebody that you care about, and then make that change. That's how it's gonna work. Period. You're gonna die that same way you brought up. You brought up thinking the flag was this and all this old stuff, and then you're gonna take that with you to your grave until you see something different. All I'm saying is see life different. See who you fucking up and fucking over while you out here making all these rules. Congressmen and senators and whoever else is in positions of power. I say that to you.
Why do you think we don't have a lot of? I mean, I know there are a few women in those positions, but why do you think that there's not a more? Because in a lot of instances, they are more qualified.
To me, I think it's popularity. If it's public office, I think it's popularity votes based. You got to get your name out there. You got to be this guy or that girl or whatever. Some people, some women, that group of women that got elected recently, I think it was 7 years ago, that whole massive group of women that got elected to the Senate
Yeah.
or the House of Representatives, whichever one it was, they did the work. They went out and knocked on doors and said, hey, look, I'm running for office. Hey, vote for me. If you want to talk to me, come holler at me. I got plenty of town meetings going on all over the place. They got their name out there. They put in the work. It's a popularity contest. You got social media now. You got all this stuff going on, all these factors going on, trying to get your name out there to get elected or let people know what you stand for and what you don't stand for. All that stuff matters now. You couldn't just go in there and say, hey, look, I'm John Doe. I want to run for a House of Representatives in my district. This is what I'm going to do. And you be sincerely honest and pure about what you want to do. Some guy come in here all flashy, throwing stuff up and this, and the other, and it ain't working. I mean, it don't work. People like to be wild. They want to be told that, the impossible is possible if they can do it. Shit like that. Instead of putting in the groundwork and say, hey, look, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm about. This is what my family's about. This is my standards. This is my goals. This is what I want to do in life. I want to help you get where you want to go. They don't believe that type shit no more.
Yeah.
They just go for the flash in the pan type folks.
And then you still got to look at it too. They think that women are beneath them.
Right. That's
So-
the other thing.
Yeah. we gonna always be considered as beneath them. Like we're not smart.
Mhm.
We don't have any sense. But
We don't know how to maneuver between the male dominated society as far as my handshake is my word and all this old type shit. All that shit still going on in Congress, in positions of power,
yeah,
all over this country. And they don't think women can adapt. If they do adapt, they make changes to it so it'd be beneficial for other women to get in.
yeah,
They don't want that shit to happen. They want the old school, old guard. This is what's going on. This is the rules. You got to follow the rules in order to get where we're going, and we'll back you if you follow the rules.
yeah.
Ain't nobody doing that shit.
And these the same men that when they go home, they don't even know how to work the wash machine.
Or cut the stove on.
Yeah, because can't do nothing.
Hey, I can't
But
say
they
nothing. We
damn
got one of them new stoves. I be having to ask my daughter all the time how to use it. motherfucker.
You out here buying new shit and can't even work it.
I be like, what's the button for the preheat again?
God damn.
Bro, I be feeling so slow using that motherfucker, man. I be like, man, like, damn, I know I'm smarter than this.
Electronic man, can't even
Yeah,
work
I'm
the
saying. Can't even turn the stove on.
Hey, cause you know,
what up?
it's one of them, it's the flat tops, but it's got like one eye has like 3 different heat level settings on
Yeah.
how hot it get. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
which way I turn the knob?
Oh my God.
Hey, that's exactly what my daughter say every time is, oh my God, Dad.
Yeah.
Let's
So
trade.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Let's trade that up. See how it works.
I'll show you how it works.
Nah, that's all right. I don't want no cinnamon in there.
Wow.
Cinnamon is gone. Cinnamon
Yeah,
bingo.
there's no more cinnamon.
Yeah, no more cinnamon. Yeah.
I couldn't have been one of your kids because that would have been his nickname, Cinnamon.
I'd have been hungry.
I used to be feeding that food to the dog. Jack, come on in here.
Wow.
Jack used to be happy.
Used to be happy eating everything. Come on.
Table food. Yeah, he happy.
Yeah. Even Mikhail as a kid. You hear him in there cussing.
Really?
Yeah. Boy be about 9 or 10 years old. Man, what the fuck is that?
I couldn't even be mad at him either, cause
Man, yo. Watch your mouth. No, I'm trying to not to put this in my mouth.
He'd be like, bro, I don't even want to eat.
Yeah. I'll be on a fast every week.
Then I start making to where I tell him, I'm cooking. I cook when I get off.
Yeah, don't touch nothing.
Don't you touch nothing.
Oh my God.
Before you go.
Yeah, cook before you go. Goddamn kids hungry than a motherfucker.
Oh my God. Yeah, the whole household starving.
Yeah. You be in there tearing it up.
Shit. Ugh.
Yeah.
But that's what I thought you was gonna take, that the whole double standard thing. So, but you know, it's all good. We got some points in on it. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. Oh, you all right? You all right? You all right?
Sneeze.
look, she having flashbacks to that cinnamon.
Yeah, that cinnamon got all up in her.
Yeah. I'll find out.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. So with all that being said, we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. Next week, because I really want to hit this one. All these folks that's been married for 20 plus years, 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years, that's all of a sudden getting a divorce. I really want to talk about that. We just had another one fall off the planet just now. Miley Cyrus's dad just got a divorce. They've
damn,
been
for
together
real?
for like 25 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You didn't realize earlier that this chick was this or that guy was this, and you just stood in there and hung out with it? Or I just want to talk about that, just to get it all out there and open. So next week, divorce is falling off. Parents divorcing 20 plus years, like Jeff Bezos. All these folks has just been together for years, and all of a sudden, fall off. Bill Gates, Jason Momoa, all these folks. We've been hitting at it in the headlines. We used to do top 5, but now I'm done. I got to talk about it. So we'll talk about that next week. And until then, y'all be good, be safe, and take care of somebody. We'll holler at you. Peace.